So I'm very, very excited to share with all of you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to jump in and get started. And again, if you do have any questions as we go along, if you want to stick it in the Q&A, I will make sure that I answer them. So what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to just ask you to think about, how many of your clients or patients that you may see or treat are feeling like drained or depressed, or maybe even resentful that they're not completely getting better. Or what's worse, how many of us spend more of our time feeling like we're the complaint department rather than actually healing them? That happens a lot, right? How many of you would love to be able to figure out the root cause of a problem in just one session, where you get to witness somebody's transformation, knowing you're actually making a real impact healing your clients? How many of you are healers who want to help your clients transform faster while increasing your practice revenues? All right, well, if that's you, you need to know tonight we're talking about the power of soul intelligence. What if you could learn how to bring things up from your client's subconscious mind to their conscious mind to clear and release everything that's holding them back from actually healing and achieving the wellness they want and everything else they want in this life? Yeah, like bring it in from the quantum field, people. What if you could do that for yourself, as a healer, because we tend to, be the last one on the list. What if you could do that for yourself or your family or your friends or your colleagues or your team or your practice and your clients in just one session? I mean, that's the power of soul intelligence and the power of soul intelligence method. Well, who am I anyway, and why should I be talking to you about this? Well, I feel like I need to share a little bit of my story. For more than 25 years, I was actually a corporate turnaround specialist, working to streamline the right people, processes, and technology to meet the business objectives, to help companies grow. And I was really good at what I did. My last turnaround, we were on year one of a planned 3-year turnaround, and we had just started to make the turn, and I had just received a performance bonus when I received a phone call letting me know that my services were no longer needed. We'll talk about being in shock, okay? I texted my boss immediately, and he told me he was also fired. I was like, what? Yeah, that wasn't exactly what I said. I think it was WTF, but you get the idea. So on March 12th of 2020, I lost my job for the first time ever in my career. At the very same moment, my husband was undergoing biopsy for prostate cancer. My entire world turned upside down in about 30 seconds. I was 53, out of work, shocked, depressed, in disbelief, all in the midst of COVID, with no chance of even getting a job. I was a high achiever. I had never, ever been fired in my life. I always met or exceeded expectations. I was confused. I was lost. I was hurt. I was angry. I went through the entire spectrum of emotions involved in the grieving process. Trust me, I wallowed in them all: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. And I actually remember the moment when it shifted for me. It was after I completed a powerful meditation. I had tears streaming down my face, and I just knew I couldn't go back into corporate America again. I knew that if I did, I would be betraying my own true nature. So I got really honest with myself, and I realized that I had been going through the motions for a very long time, right? I wasn't in touch with my true authentic self anymore. I tried all the things. I checked all the outside boxes, but I wasn't following my true path. I wasn't listening to my soul intelligence, which was screaming at me now. And I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was time for me to come out of the spiritual closet and stand in my true power, my zone of genius. And it was time to bring the power of soul intelligence to the world. So what did I do? The very next day, I sat down and I emailed my doctor. And I shared with her that the stressed out, plane hopping lunatic with the fried adrenals that she knew also had a hidden talent. I explained how I was able to shift stuck energy, negative emotions, thoughts, self-limiting beliefs, without, old trauma, without someone having to relive the actual trauma that caused the pain in the first place. So I offered to clear my afternoon and wait for her to be available in her office. And I sat with another one of her fellow MDs. As magically, she had 2 last-minute cancellations, which never happens. Thanks to the divine for that intervention. The first doctor had such a powerful release that she was crying. She was amazed at the accuracy of the detailed information that came up in the session. And she was so moved. She spilled her water all over the floor. So if you pay attention to symbols and signs, like water tends to be emotions, right? So that means your emotions are flowing. Well, it was flowing all over the floor. We had to clean it up. At that precise moment, my doctor poked her head in the office and asked how it went. She took one look at her associate and then said, "Wow, I'm next." And from there, it was game on. So the moment this new awareness opened up for me was when I finally made the decision to let go of what was no longer serving me, what wasn't working anymore. And once I let go of that old rope and I made the decision to trust my intuition by tapping into my soul intelligence, that is exactly when everything opened up for me. I took a leap of faith in spite of what it looked like on the outside. And a lot of what I'm going to talk to you about is quantum physics, knowing that internally things have to shift before externally will shift. All right. Well, to this day, my doctor, along with another 15 medical professionals, refer clients to me on a regular basis. And I work on them individually, their families, I work on their patients, I work on their friends, their associates, their colleagues, and more. In fact, my doctor practices traditional medicine, functional medicine, so both traditional and alternative, to where we call it integrated medicine, where she teaches her clients about 11 pillars of health. And while she starts in the physical, like in the gut, which is where a lot of things stem from, she starts with the physical pillars and she moves all the way through the 11th pillar. Do you know what it is? Anybody have an idea? Yep. It's energy, spiritual work. So that's what I'm going to talk to you tonight. I'm going to talk to you about how soul intelligence is truly the ultimate biohack and how the soul intelligence method is going to work. So what is soul intelligence, right? Everybody asks me that all the time. So for me, I describe it as it being the why behind the what. Like there's nothing more important than that. We always want to know why. What's the root cause, right? Well, soul intelligence is what gives your life meaning. It's not just your intuition, it's your divine purpose. And so many of us are walking around through this life disconnected from our true purpose, right? Questioning, why am I here? Why did I choose to be here? What's my calling? What is my true purpose? Well, Simon Sinek is a marketing guru. He talks about how people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So why is that? It's because it's everything. It's what brings meaning to your life. There is nothing more important. Your why comes from being in touch with your soul intelligence. And my why is so much bigger than me. My ultimate mission is to create a soul intelligence movement where together we raise the consciousness of humanity so that we, more and more of us, can operate from that place of love and peace and joy most of the time. Does that not sound blissful? Okay, that's what I'm shooting for. But I can't do it alone. I'm only one person. I want to teach more people how to use this method to help heal more people. So you are totally in the right place if you're feeling frustrated with not being able to achieve your ultimate client outcomes, and you can't seem to break through a revenue ceiling. Does that sound like anybody? Maybe you are tired of having like this niggling feeling like there has to be a better way, but you question, you're not really sure what the other way is. Like something's missing, but you're not sure what. You want better outcomes for yourself, for your family, your friends, your team, your practice, your clients, where you witness and experience real, immediate, and lasting transformation and healing. You are totally in the right place if you know that you have what it takes. You just need that missing ingredient or method so that you can truly help others heal mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, ultimately, energetically. And because you're putting so much of that out, you also earn the revenue at the level you desire. All right, so in the next 60 minutes or so, I'll try and talk fast. We're going to learn all about how energy is affecting and impacting your life and your clients' lives in ways you never imagined. I'm also going to share with you real life stories of some of the hundreds of clients I've helped. Now, obviously, for reasons of confidentiality, I've changed their names, but I do have permission to be able to share with you their background and their stories. And as an ultimate special surprise, I am gifting you a live soul intelligence session so that you can experience this work firsthand, right? We always have to go through the door first before we're going to recommend something to somebody else. And since you and your self-care, I can bet, are always last on the to-do list, tonight we're going to release some of what's been keeping you up at night. Whether there's fear or stress or anxiety, guilt, whatever needs to shift, any of those unserving emotions or thoughts or self-limiting beliefs or old traumas, we're going to get them out. And with any luck, we'll get you to feel a little more relaxed and raise your vibe. And the best part is you only have to be open to receive. You don't actually have to do anything. How about that? You don't have to do anything. You just get to take it in. We need to do more of that, by the way. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. I promise I'm going to share a ton of great content with you in the next 60 minutes. And it's going to make a noticeable impact in your life and in your business. And I'm going to make sure that I know, because who I surround myself with like attracting like, right? I know that some of you are high performers just like me, and you'll want to amplify your results immediately and take it to the next level. So before we wrap up, I can take some time at the end to share with you about the Soul Intelligence Method and the certification program that I'm launching, so you can take this deeper and accelerate your results quicker. Is that okay? All right, well, we're going to get started at the basics. We're going to start with some Energy 101. How many of you have tried it all and wondered why it's not happening for you, right? Why don't the synchronicities align? Maybe trying things like affirmations or meditation, like when you're thinking about your own healing, or working with clients, like extra things like visualization, positive thinking. You've tried all the things. What's the deal? Okay. Well, you're going to want to write this down, because this is how it all works. Now more than ever, we are all just waking up to the fact that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all energy. We all originate from that same divine spark of animation. Now think about it. We all know from 7th grade science class that everybody and everything is energy. We're all protons, neutrons, electrons vibrating in this electromagnetic field. And that means that you have an energetic field around your body. And it also means that everything in existence has an energy field. And just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It also means that energy can get stuck in people, places, or things, and in your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, and your physical body. All right, so let's start with the minds. We're going to start with the brain, because that's what we always think of, right? Everybody talks to you about positive affirmations and thoughts. Well, let's think about this here. We only use, this is scientific, this is fact, this is not me making it up. We only use 5% of our mind to do all of our thinking, strategizing, planning, all of that. 5% is conscious. 95% of our brain activity is in the subconscious mind. Now, I'm not all against the subconscious mind. I mean, it's kind of, we need it or we'd stop breathing at night, right? But 95% of our brain activity is subconscious. That just blows my mind every time I think about that statistic. So that means all of the negative energy, emotions, thoughts, self-limiting beliefs, trauma is like looping in your subconscious mind, and it's over and over and over again. And so when you think about how many thoughts we're bombarded with, right? It's like 80,000 thoughts a day, unless you're probably an overachiever. It's probably way more than that. But those things are like looping around and around. So how are you supposed to know what you need to shift if you don't even know how to access it? And this translates immediately to your clients. How are they supposed to know what needs to shift if they don't even know what's there? right? So that's where the power of soul intelligence comes in. It actually allows you to access that information without having to relive the trauma. Pretty incredible, right? When you think about how you don't have to relive the trauma, a lot of therapy, you have to talk things out, right? And they take you back into that time period when you were going through the suffering. And literally they're trying to force the emotion up and out. A lot of crying or screaming, anger therapy, all these things can help, but it's pretty awful to have to go through trauma again. And I've had plenty of trauma in my life. We're not going to go down that road right now, but whoo, buddy, I don't want to do it again. That door is closed. So we start talking about quantum physics, okay? The quantum field is an electromagnetic field, and it all starts with that electric spark, okay? The IQ, that idea. It's actually your intellect, your ideas, all that stuff comes in there. And you do need that when we talk about the quantum field. That's the spark. So you have to start. Everything does start with a thought. I don't mean to minimize that, but it all starts with a thought. But what magnifies thought and what brings it into form is the magnetic quality in emotions. So you've got the masculine thought, that energy, the spark, and then you've got the magnetic quality of the feminine energy or emotions. So your IQ and EQ. And emotions are the magnetic part of the magnetic field, electromagnetic field. It's the amplifier that collapses the wave and brings something into form. So Neville Goddard, great author, said emotions are the secret. And it's really true. In fact, according to scientists at the HeartMath Institute, your heart's just not a random pump in your chest. It actually has a 6-foot wide electromagnetic field around it. And that electromagnetic field is 3 times as big as the field around your brain. So think about that. You know, we've heard a lot about being a heart-centered leader, the importance of EQ in the workplace, right? So think about this. If your mind and your heart aren't in coherence, your subconscious mind is going to take over and manifest how you feel about something. That's why The Secret in the 80s didn't work. You can't just say affirmations in your mind and expect things to shift. So here's how powerful emotions truly are. We're going to talk about vibration, okay? Emotion, energy in motion. And emotions like fear and jealousy and guilt have a much lower vibration, whereas, you know, emotions like love and peace and joy vibrate at a much higher vibration. You know, if you have ever worked or heard of Dr. David Hawkins, he has a book called Power versus Force. And in that, he actually, you know, charted and tested emotions at what different levels they vibrate at. I don't want you to go blind trying to read this chart, but this is one of the charts in my Soul Intelligence book. And you can see, look how destructive. I don't know if you can see all the way down the bottom, but perfectionism is super destructive. And a lot of us strive for that and beat ourselves up for it. So really getting up towards the top, right, where we want to be. But this is how the scale works, right? You have alpha waves at the bottom, beta waves, and then alpha waves, then theta waves, and then delta waves, right? It's all measurement. It's all vibration. So I actually can, in a session, measure where somebody is when we start the session and measure where they are at the end of the session. Now, typically everybody moves up. It's just how much do they move up and how long will they stay there, right? And we're going to talk about, well, maybe on another webinar, but we'll talk about different states of consciousness and how we can shift from being at the very lower end to the very upper end. All right, so no judgment here. How many of you have ever stuffed your own emotions and ignored them? You're too busy to deal with them. Your partner doesn't want to hear it. Your family and friends, career clients, everybody comes first, and you're last on the priority list. Does that sound familiar? Anyone? Okay. Well, here's what happens when we do that. When emotions get trapped, they manifest as dis-ease or disease within your body and can cause chronic illness. Louise Hay wrote a book called Heal Yourself, A to Z, and it's all about the root cause of diseases based on the emotional roots. I also have another book that I love even more that goes even more in depth. Sorry, I'm looking over here on my bookshelf. Does Your Body Lie? by Luis Simoes. And he goes into even more in depth about different things that are going wrong in the body and what the emotional root cause is. Super great reference book to have, especially when you do this kind of work. So trapped emotions cause a dissonance in your frequency. And that's when you go and seek medical attention, right? You're having a physical issue. So your PQ. So we got IQ, EQ, SQ, and PQ, your physical quotient. So it's no wonder I work with nearly 20 medical professionals who refer clients to me. And that's exactly what my client Jada was doing. She wasn't honoring herself. She was always last on her priority list. She had kids, she had work, she had an ex-husband, dogs, and then suddenly she started developing chronic conditions. Anyone ever get sick out of the blue? Any of your clients? I don't know what happened. It just happened. Well, by the time she was referred to me, she was on medical leave from her nursing job for nearly a year with shingles. She was depressed. She was alone. She was under a doctor's care and completely miserable. And she had been referred to me by her doctor as she'd been suffering with this chronic illness for nearly a year and wasn't showing any marked improvement. She was also suffering with insomnia, torn up about her lack of a personal life, and really didn't want to go back to her stressful job. And before meeting me, she tried everything. And I mean everything. She tried medication, therapy, tapping. I think it's called EFT, Reiki, kinesiology, theta healing, acupuncture, ketamine, mindfulness, and even more without lasting results or real transformation. And she was really desperate to move forward. Using the soul intelligence method, we figured out the root cause of her chronic illness. She immediately had relief of some of her symptoms. Her anxiety lessened and she began sleeping through the night again. She woke up with more energy than she had in nearly a year, and she started to heal her lack of self-forgiveness and met herself with true compassion. What was the root cause? Well, for her, it was deep-seated fear, tension, dread of what was going to happen next, and being extremely sensitive to other people's energy. She was very empathetic in a demanding job with an unappreciative boss where she was traveling weekly and she was in hospitals and around, sick people all the time, like many of us are. But the way we shifted it was by releasing the energy that was stuck in her mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies. And I know the traditional route would say, well, why didn't you just get a new job? Well, she wasn't in a position to leave her job, and coaching her around making a career change wasn't an option, right? So now what? Often we think what needs to change is outside of us when it's really within us. And most of the time we need to up level from within. Well, Jada and I even went deeper within as our next step. We were able to release old blocks, self-limiting beliefs, and past traumas from her subconscious mind to her conscious mind, going as far back as childhood without her having to go through the pain of all the underlying events that caused it. And I'm pleased to say that after working together, she's made a full recovery. She's back to work. I also provided her with tools to protect herself energetically in those challenging environments. And she's now really energized and happy in a different role at a different company and pursuing a new personal relationship. So just curious, how many of you actually struggle with clarity of purpose or self-doubt or lack of self-esteem, or maybe even a bit of imposter syndrome? Sound like anybody? Well, you're not alone. That is exactly what one of my other high profile clients, Belinda, was experiencing too. She is a CEO of an impact company, like a company that's making a difference in the world. And she had gone through a really painful divorce and doubted her ability to lead. She went through bouts of depression, wondering what was wrong with her. She had all this self-punishment, self-doubt, like many sleepless nights. Like she was filled with angst, focused on all the injustice of it all. Most business owners I know experience this from time to time. I know I have, right? Well, at first she was really reluctant to take action. She wasn't sure this energy stuff was for her. Maybe it even crossed a bit of the woo-woo line. But when she was really up against it, she called me. She said the pressure from her board was increasing, the stress from her team was palpable, and she didn't have much of a personal life to speak of other than juggling her grown kid drama. So she took a chance on herself and she said yes. After our very first session, where we revealed the root cause of the imposter syndrome was her insecurity of being left for a younger woman. She experienced like immediate relief. She felt lighter, more peaceful. She regained some of her self-esteem. She even started sleeping through the night and had a new confidence about herself that helped her slay her next board meeting. So after that initial session, using all the information that was discovered in that very first soul intelligence session, I knew exactly what to coach her on during subsequent coaching sessions because I became that spiritual super sleuth. Through our work together, she was finally able to learn how to quiet her type A mind enough to meditate, to go within, hear her own internal wisdom, tap into that soul intelligence. She was more centered, calm, and peaceful in her daily life. And she had a new awareness of who she needed to be for herself and her company. And she had an awareness that life is happening for her, not to her, which is part of the consciousness discussion I was kind of alluding to. Usually we move through 4 levels of consciousness. The first one being that life is happening to me, feeling like a victim or a villain, right? A persecutor or hero, kind of all in the drama. That's the first level of consciousness. We don't want to live there. We want to at least move to the next one. That's where we recognize that life is happening for me. And you're able to take that 30,000 foot view and just look at, oh, that's interesting. How can I learn from this? What should I know? What do I need to know? How is this helping me? How is this shaping me? That's hard to do, especially when rotten stuff's happening, right? Or like with patients and they're not healing and you're getting frustrated. But it's there to show you that there could be another way, right? The next level after life is happening for me is life is happening through me. That's really kind of a cool spot. That's where you really feel something other than yourself, like you're tapped into the divine, or you're tapped into a presence that's bigger than yourself, right? And you feel that presence coming through you and ask that presence come through your thoughts and your words and your actions. And you really feel as though the divine is working through you as an instrument. Then the last level of consciousness, that is where life is happening as you, right? As you. What does that mean? That means you feel connected with all things, right? We're all energy. So technically we are all connected. People, objects, the earth, all things. And you can have moments of that, right? Like if you're at the top of a mountain and you're just seeing like the crisp white snow and the green trees and the blue sky, and you just feel lost in nature, or you're at the beach and you just kind of roll with the waves. You can get a sense of that. And you can't stay there, right? The second you pull out in traffic, that's over, right? You're back down to life is happening to me. But anyway, those are the 4 levels. And Belinda had a new awareness that life was happening for her and not to her. And fortunately, I can share with you that today her business is thriving. She is so much more confident in her ability to lead. She has an understanding how she wants to show up, like what kind of leader, chief energy officer does she want to be? And she's developed a fulfilling new personal relationship, and she's experienced amazing shifts personally and professionally. All right. Are you intrigued? Are you still a little skeptical? Well, perhaps the best way for me to explain how this work goes is to show you firsthand. Okay, so I'm going to treat everybody to a special gift of a soul intelligence session. So if you're excited, you can raise your hand. You can let me know. Yay! Give me something. Give me a little something. I'm going to share with you how to do it. Awesome. I got a yes in my Q&A. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to work with my, I'm getting raised hands all over the place. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Well, we talked earlier about how everyone and everything is energy, and we all have an electromagnetic field around ourselves. And you may have heard the expression somewhere that where 2 or more are gathered, in a reference to the power of prayer being amplified. Well, it's true, right? As there's 2 energetic fields around like a couple, an individual. So if you're sending out that same vibration or prayer, it becomes amplified in the quantum field. So you can actually use this method to clear a couple, a family, a group, a team, a division, a region, even a company. In fact, that's what I did behind the scenes as a corporate turnaround specialist and growth specialist. I just didn't walk into the boardroom with a book of charts and a pendulum. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a soul intelligence session for you right now. And like I said, yay! Ronnie said she just got goosebumps. I'm like, awesome. So I am actually going to share with you how a soul intelligence session works by doing it with you. So all you need to do is what you've been doing, hopefully, sitting back and relaxing. I was going to use my overhead cool camera above here that I have set up, but I can't seem to figure out how to turn the camera on because we're in webinar mode. So participants don't show on the screen. Again, a little technical glitch I got to figure out. All right. I have my book in front of me. And just so you know, since you may not have experienced this before, this is my Soul Intelligence Energetic Alignment System, which is a book of charts. It's about, let me see how many charts do I have right now, about 30 charts or so. And on each of the charts are different things. So my first chart is obviously a table of contents. So I know where to go. And it's how the divine or the energies or my guides or angels work with me to tell me what needs to move and what needs to shift. And so the pendulum is just allows me to move over the slice of information to know which thing needs to shift. So it could be core challenges that we're all experiencing, like control and power or integrity or authority, or maybe we're just always allowing others to take advantage of us. So it could be a core challenge. Then I've got a chart that's going to talk to me about roles and timelines, like when did it happen and who was involved, like kind of that drama, what happened, so that we can gain more information about what's rolling over and affecting the now and needs to shift. We might have some weird lower force energies because, there is dark side out there. Negative energies, emotions, and thoughts that need to shift up and out. Positive energies, emotions, and thoughts that we really want to bring in, and we might have blocks to those things. I've got a couple of different pages of charts that are all related to archetypes, which are basically repeating patterns, okay, that we experience in our lives. I have over 100 of those. Don't worry, we won't go through all of them tonight, but at least I hope not. Hopefully we don't have them all running at the same time. Things that block our ability to change or ability to experience freedom in a lot of different ways. Maybe not being willing to change. Know anybody like that? Yeah, I may have married somebody that's not willing to change. Ha, just kidding. He's improving, right? Progress, not perfection. Fortunately, he's not on the webinar tonight, or he'd be like, what are you talking about? Different disorders, right? They're mental disorders, behavioral disorders, neurological disorders. And then we get into all the body charts, like the body systems and physical healing, nutrition, health, and wellness. Like, what can I do to support the physical body that's housing this incredible being that I am? And a whole lot more. Not going to go through them all. I want to give you the opportunity to experience the healing. All right. So the first thing I do is I set up a sacred space, which essentially means I just want to make sure that anything that moves, shifts, or clears goes back to the divine for immediate transmutation, and that doesn't land on any person, place, or thing. And so that everybody feels protected and that we're all in this energetic container together. And I'm going to ask that anybody that's watching this live or chooses to watch this on the replay, that we include everybody in this, so that we can give benefit to everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes for just a couple of minutes. I encourage you to do the same. Maybe just take a few deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just kind of releasing the day. I really envision in the center of my chest a divine spark of white light. And with every breath, I see that divine spark of white light growing and glowing and expanding. I see that white light really encompassing my entire physical being. And then I call that light back into my body, and I see it form a column of light going up my spine, out the back of my neck, through the crown of my head, extending well beyond my head, going up into the heavens, connecting me with the divine of all that is, the cosmos, the stars, and beyond. I see the most brilliant golden white light coming back down from the heavens, from the divine of all that is, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, down through the crown of my head, going down through my spine, exiting my root, anchoring me here in this physical 3D earth plane, connecting me with Mother Nature, Gaia, nature spirits, the plants, the animal kingdoms, and beyond. Then I feel into just above my head, and I connect with that wise woman, my higher self. That one who is so proud of how far I've come and is so excited about the journey that still lays ahead. I ask that she also be here with us during this session, and I make a heart-to-heart connection with her. Now I'm ready to pray. Individually and collectively, let us connect with the divine Mother, Father, God, Goddess, source of all that is. I ask that we connect to our individual soul presence, our higher selves, our respective soul families, our true original spark of the divine light within each of us, the I am all that I am presence. I humbly request that all of our spiritual teams of guides and guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters, ancient ones, wise ones, shamans, elders, star beings, all beings of light who guide and protect us, that they're here, that we feel their presence and love and support at this time. I also ask that we be connected to Mother Nature, Gaia, the nature spirits, the Fae, the Devas, the crystal plant and animal kingdoms, the four directions, and the elements of earth, fire, water, air, and ether. Together we acknowledge that we are all powerful spiritual beings expressing in human form. We know that we are whole and perfect expressions of the divine, and we now accept healing for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And so it is. Amen. The divine and I are one. Please connect to high self and prepare to guide. Please put a triple H shield of unconditional love and light around Kristine Glein. Please put a triple H shield of unconditional love and light around every person who may be present during this webinar or watch this recording later. Okay. Please put a triple H shield on my home, property, cars, and any person or animal who may be near me during the time of the session as well. Am I connected to my high self? Am I connected to their collective high selves? Show me where my spiritual teams are operating from. Where are theirs? Please clear, remove, replace, elevate, and educate all committee members to unconditional love or above. Show me theirs. Okay. My souls in my body. Do I have the correct number of souls for this session? Okay. Please clear, heal, seal, close, and block with love and light any and all holes in my work field. Please clear, heal, seal, close, and block with love and light any and all holes in their collective work fields. Okay. Today I want to clear everything that's in everyone's best and highest good for their best and highest timeline, this lifetime timeline dimension, as well as any other. I'm going to ask that anything that we move, shift, or clear needs to be revealed, that it comes up, and that anything that needs to go gets shifted back and transmuted into love and light back to the divine immediately. And so it is. All right. Let's see where we're starting from tonight. Oh, that's pretty good. We're starting at courage, which is at 200 hertz. That's in the bottom of the alpha range. Hopefully we'll be able to move up just a little bit. All right, so the first chart we're going to is the self-limiting belief chart. I've mentioned to you that those things are sticky because they tend to be things that we think about a lot and reinforce our, cloud our vision, like dirty glasses, and reinforce destructive behavior and attract situations we don't want. So the first self-limiting belief that I'm going to shift for all of us is I'm not whole. Please clear the lifetime, please clear the program, please remove from the body, mind, and soul records, and please burn, root, branch, and seed into infinity from the point of origin as if it never was, on all levels of soul consciousness. Please do it for this lifetime, timeline, dimension, as well as any other. strike it from the Akashic records, pull it from the back of our hearts, include rebuilding mirror images and replications, clearing it all the way down to the cellular level, erasing it from the cellular memory for all times, always, amen. And so it is. Please clear the self-limiting belief I don't have. Please clear the lifetime. Please clear the program. Please remove from the body, mind, and soul records, and please burn the branch and seed into infinity from the point of origin as if it never was on all levels of consciousness. Please do it for this lifetime, timeline, dimension, as well as any other. Strike it from the Akashic records. Pull it from the back of our hearts. Include rebuilding mirror images and replications, clearing it all the way down to the cellular level, erasing it from the cellular memory for all times, always, amen. And so it is. Please clear the self-limiting belief I'm crazy. Please clear the lifetime. Please clear the program. Please remove from the body, mind, and soul records, and please burn, branch, and seed into infinity from the point of origin as if it never was on all levels of consciousness. Please do it for this lifetime, timeline, dimension, as well as any other. Strike it from the Akashic records. Pull it from the back of our hearts. Include rebuilding mirror images and replications, clearing it all the way down the cellular level, erasing it from the cellular memory for all times, always, amen. And so it is. Please clear the self-limiting belief I'm not lovable. Please clear the lifetime. Please clear the program. Please remove from the body, mind, and soul records, and please burn, branch, and seed into infinity from the point of origin as if it never was on all levels of consciousness for the group. Please do it for this lifetime, timeline, dimension, as well as any other. Strike it from the Akashic records. Pull it from the back of our hearts. Include rebuilding mirror images and replications, clearing it all the way down the cellular level, erasing it from the cellular memory for all times, always, amen. And so it is. Woo! I'm a little dizzy. Those are intense, people. All right, we're going to go to the career and work chart. So I'm being advised next to go to. Ooh, here's a good one. Let's please clear blocks to problem solving. Please clear blocks to mergers or acquisitions. Please clear blocks to tactical execution. Please clear blocks to active listening. Please clear blocks to team building. Okay. All right, we're going to a lower force energy chart. Like I said, we've got light, we got dark. So if I say anything and you're not sure what it is, I'll be happy to explain it later. Please clear out all hidden energy. Please clear all psychic webs, several psychic cords, break all psychic hooks, and clear any and all mind channels to anyone and from anyone on this call. Please clear all portals. Please clear themes. Please clear dark worms. Please clear egg and plant energies. Please clear all mind channels. Please clear imprint of guilt. Please clear all vortexes. Just means there's a lot of energy on top of that. And show me where else we're going next. Okay, we're going to clear a behavioral disorder. Please clear behavioral anxiety. So I think I mentioned disorders. So I'm not a doctor, so I can't actually treat someone for anxiety, but there are things we can do. I can help shift energy if it's behavioral or mental. If it's neurological, that is something that I usually recommend somebody goes to see and speaks to an MD about. But typically, if it's behavioral, it means we're anxious, we're behaving in an anxious way. So we can sometimes shift the energy out related to that. And there's other things you can do. There's some great nutritional products that I'm aware of that we use to help people that have behavioral anxiety. There's this really good one that is called Calm Day. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a wonderful product. Let me see, where was I going? So I'm kind of going up and down, in and out. All right, we're on the healthy masculine and feminine chart, energy chart. So please clear blocks to being discerning. Please clear blocks to being wise. Please clear blocks to being confident. Please clear blocks to integrity. Please clear blocks to feeling loyal or being loyal. Please clear blocks to being collaborative. Please clear blocks to being empathetic. Please clear blocks to allowing. Please clear blocks to feeling sensual. Okay, any toxic masculine or feminine energies while I'm here? Yep. Please clear any destructive energy out of the field. Please clear any stubborn energy out of the field. Please clear aggressive competitive energy out of the field. Oh, that could have been me. I was playing tennis. Please clear any stagnating energy out of the field. Please clear any anger out of the field. Please clear any ignoring energy out of the field. Please clear any manipulative energy out of the field. Please clear any complaining energy out of our field. Please clear any indecisiveness out of the field. Okay, so we have blocks to positive energies. Please clear blocks to gratitude. You know, that is one thing that can shift your mood right away. Laughter and gratitude. Please clear blocks to energy. Please clear blocks to confidence in self. Please clear blocks to adoration. Please clear blocks to awe and wonderment. Please clear blocks to cleanliness and comfort. Please clear blocks to trust. Please clear blocks to sobriety. Please clear blocks to intelligence. Please clear blocks to perseverance. Please clear blocks to love of self. Please clear blocks to life and living. Okay, anything else that needs to move, shift, or clear? Anything else impactful that this group collectively needs right now? May run just a little bit long because I want to make sure I give you a good taste of my method. Control and power core challenge. When did it happen? In past lives for this collective group. Interesting. All right, who is this collective group? It's too difficult to figure out all the roles. Okay, too many people right now. Okay, but this collective group. Okay, you want to give me a timeline? Interesting. In ancient Egypt. Okay, anything else? It's mental, emotional, or physical? Physical, simple, serious, or death? Serious physical harm. Well, I'm going to have a little explaining to do, Lucy. Okay, please clear depression. Please clear forsaken. Please clear abandonment. Please clear betrayal. Please clear conflict. Please clear felt like a death. Please clear subservience. Please clear self-persecution. Please clear insecurity. Please clear panic. Please clear judgment. Please clear low self-esteem. Please clear manipulation. Anything else? Okay. Please clear the lifetime. Please clear the program. Please remove from the body, mind, and soul records. And please burn, branch, and seed into infinity from the point of origin as if it never was on all levels of consciousness. Please do it for this lifetime, timeline, dimension, as well as any others. Strike it from the Akashic records. Pull it from the back of our hearts. Include rebuilding mirror images and replications, clearing it all the way down to the cellular level, erasing it for the cellular memory for all times, always. Amen. And so it is. All right. So that one deserves slight explanation. So one of the things that my method does, I mentioned to you, is it shares with me timelines, right? When did something happen? And time is really spatial. It's not linear, but that's a discussion for another day. If you believe in past lives, great. If you don't, this could just sound like a story, but apparently all of us in this collective container, we're all in ancient Egypt together at one time and all experienced some really physical suffering, a lot of suffering. So kind of an image of like a pyramid building and falling and crushing and things like that kind of came to mind. So that's part of the trauma, very old trauma that we might release. So sometimes you cross into other lifetimes and timelines, which is really kind of interesting. All right, I'm going to answer some questions in just a minute. I see there's some questions. I just want to make sure that there's nothing else. Let me just download some goodness really quickly. Please download all power, love, light, wisdom, and understanding to this group's body, energy body for their best and highest good. You know, there's lots of different types of sessions that I can do from, let me just explain, you know, give me 1 second. Okay. Please conclude the session and finalize all details. Does my soul agree all is complete? Does their soul agree all is complete? Thank you so much to the divine of all that is. Thank you to all of the divine beings who are always here supporting us, loving us, and guiding us. Thank you so much for the gifts of healing and the ability to fulfill my life purpose. Amen. And so it is. So essentially using the book of charts and a pendulum, I'm able to use this as like a very specific form of prayer, asking certain things to be shifted up and out. And that's essentially what you hopefully all just experienced. Oh, good. Oh, I love it. Ronnie's saying the more I talk, the more energy she can feel. Egyptian energies. Yowza, just got goosebumps. I love it. Good stuff. And what I want to do is hopefully you have felt a little something. You can let me know if you feel a little more relaxed or energized. You can let me know in the Q&A. Just know that everybody reacts differently to energy. So some of you might not feel anything right away, but the real magic happens when you actually notice what shifts in your relationships or your business or in your clients, right? And their healing. So start paying attention to those synchronicities and signs and what doesn't trigger you anymore. You know, I want to tell you about one more client. I'm going to run a little bit long, but I'll try and wrap it up in about 15 minutes. Hopefully that's okay. I started a little bit late, but I want to just kind of make sure that I have a chance to just go through this with you. So I had this other client who comes to mind. Her name's Denise. She was a healthy 6-figure earning successful coach who was attracting the most difficult clients, like ones that didn't appreciate her, who were posting like hurtful comments in her group or even wanting refunds. Like she was hurt, like devastated, really. She felt like she was spending all her energy being positive and sharing her program in a very authentic way. So to have unappreciative or even hurtful clients join her program, she couldn't understand what was happening. I bet a number of you have probably felt like that, like Denise, you know. But she too was also hesitant to engage at first. You know, she was concerned over making an investment, you know, both time and money, and stressing about how long it might take and how much money it might cost. And then she reflected that reworking her program hadn't worked, and changing her ideal client hadn't worked, and using testimonials hadn't worked. You know, maybe you tried it too. And when she realized that it was only a few months' time and less than the cost of one of her clients, she realized it was a no-brainer. She had to invest in herself. So together in the soul intelligence session, we discovered the dissonance in her frequency. You know, it was like a broken radio antenna. Some of the information was getting in, but it was distorted. It was off. So we were able to identify why she was attracting all the wrong clients. And they were reinforcing several old self-limiting beliefs that whatever she did wasn't good enough. She was unlovable and too much, over the top. Little did she know that her insecure little 5-year-old self was still running her business. Can you see why being in soul alignment is so critical for your own success? You know, anybody ever feel like Denise, like your business was running you versus the other way around? Like, why are you attracting all of these pain in the neck, you know, patients and clients that aren't healing? But when you're aligned with your mission, your vision, your values, your purpose, and you feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, that's when you know you're tapped into your soul intelligence. You know, I do know today, like, what do I know? That today's Monday and we spent the last 60-ish minutes together and we've covered so much stuff. And this masterclass, in my opinion, has been amazing. So I want to recap. You know, we learned that everybody and everything is energy, and that energy can get stuck in people, places, or things, and in your mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical body. And when it does, it manifests as illness and self-sabotage and self-limiting beliefs and unhealthy patterns and consequences, like attracting problem clients, you know, under-earning or putting yourself last. You know, we also learned how you can have near instant real relief from all of those painful lower force energies like grief and shame and guilt and anger and anxiety by using the soul intelligence method. So you no longer have to repeat those things like the patterns or the self-limiting beliefs or behaviors like I'm afraid of success or I don't matter or I'm not good enough. You know, we learned how you can stop those repeating patterns so that you have this near instant transformation in your business, in your clients, easily and efficiency without having to take them through that trauma from those old wounds or months of therapy, continually dealing with energy vampires, basically so you don't have to suffer and they don't either. So if you are, who is here ready to discover how to tap into your own soul intelligence so that you can have this experience of transformation, even better, let alone for your clients. All right, for just one moment, imagine what freedom would feel like and look like if you released all that's held you back. Just think about that for a minute. Imagine if you woke up tomorrow aligned, excited, energized, joyful, in sync, knowing you are attracting and serving the right patients with ease and flow, helping them heal completely and making incredible money doing it. You know, I really want this kind of transformation for you and your clients because I know it firsthand. I've experienced it. I've witnessed the healing, the relief, the joy, and the freedom that comes from using the soul intelligence method. And I truly embody what it means to live from your soul intelligence every single day. If, you know, running your business and your practice from this place is like a superpower in creating change and transformation for your own clients. It really, truly is the ultimate biohack, in my opinion. Now, you might be thinking that this sounds a little too good to be true, or maybe it's a little too woo for you. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding. I do know and believe that when you are in alignment with your soul intelligence, you naturally attract the right patients to you, right? And the right clients. Time expands because you're having fun. You're operating from your zone of genius. So you are fulfilled from the inside out. And when this happens, work feels like play and new clients show up out of the blue and life feels easy again. You know, weren't we told as kids to do something we love so we never have to work a day in our lives? So imagine that, you know, you got this soul-led practice and purpose-driven life. You have more time than you ever thought possible and you're earning more than you ever imagined. You put you first. Love one another as you love yourself. Your cup is full. You're aligned and available for yourself, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your patients. How good would it feel to get those emails and texts and messages from your clients sharing the change and joy they feel? Then they're going to refer more clients to you, right? It could solve your biggest problems in the areas of health and wealth and relationships. Does anybody have problems with health, wealth, and relationships? Pretty much all of us, right? So think about it. What would your life look like 6 months from now? All right. We all know that when you're more focused on putting out fires in your life than what's actually going on, and you're too distracted because you're lost in like fear and worry and anxiety instead of being present with your own family, you might even be concerned how you can really make this shift, right? Because you probably tried adding all different kinds of methodologies and different modalities to your practice before. Could you do this on your own, develop your own system? Maybe, but it's likely you've tried a lot of the same things and ended up in the same spot, right? You're trying all kinds of alternative healing therapies. So I really believe it's about an integrated medicine practice, right? It's not one or the other. And so a lot of the other methods help for brief periods, but they don't last and they don't get to the root cause. And I want you and your clients to experience real lasting transformation. You know, maybe you might be thinking that for someone like you, it just can't be that simple, you know, or maybe what if you don't get the right information, right? Or maybe all of it sounds too good to be true and it doesn't really work. Well, the uncomfortable truth is that you're sitting here, it's been about an hour and nothing in your world has dramatically changed, right? You have enough information to understand energy, but not enough to make the impact you're really looking to make or have that long-lasting joy that you want to feel and the long-lasting results in healing for your clients. You know, you could choose to do nothing now and be in the same spot a month from now, or even a year from now, or you can choose to start creating really impactful, lasting results and healing change. The choice is yours. You know, what you've tried in the past hasn't worked. You really need a new game plan and the right set of tools to get you where you want to go. And I promised you at the beginning, for those of you who are high achievers like me and who want to quickly learn how to make a greater impact on their lives, that I do have a way to make this happen. And I'd like to tell you about that now. Okay. I am going to allow a few calls. I will make space in my calendar to talk to you if you're really interested in learning how to do the soul intelligence method. What I'll do is I'd like to invite you to a soul intelligence discovery call with me. And in this call, we'll currently assess what's going on in your practice so that we have a springboard to work from. We'll take a deeper dive to uncover what's really in your way from achieving the results you want for yourself and for your clients. We'll create a greater awareness that you don't currently have today. You'll certainly come away with a deeper understanding of what's been preventing you from moving forward so that you can have that peace of mind and leapfrog into your next level of success in your practice without all that hassle. We will spend a little time loosening up some of that painful stuckness, right, in order to give you some immediate relief. And finally, we'll discover the next best steps and explore whether we might be a good fit to work together. So this is for you if you are someone who is motivated and wants to experience immediate transformation for yourself and your clients, and get your practice producing those increased revenues and get kicked into high gear, right? And I found that fast action takers always get the best results. Now, this is not for you if you want to stay stuck or you feel like suffering needlessly or you like living in Groundhog Day, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I only have space on my calendar for 5 of these soul intelligence discovery sessions this week. So if you're interested, you can go to go.oncehub.com/SQM Explore. It's just one click. And you will go directly into my calendar for us to meet. And I think I can access the chat. So how about I put that in there? There we go. That's for the actual discovery session. If you are interested in setting up a call and talking to me a little bit about you, your practice, and the kind of clients you currently you work with and that you're looking to affect, and whether or not this might be a really good fit for you. The coolest thing I'm so excited about is I actually am starting to teach this course for the first time live. And I put that link in the chat as well. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the program, you're too excited, you can't wait to set up a call. You're like, heck, I'm in. I love it. I want to be a part of it. I put a link to the Soul Intelligence program so that you can check out what the 6-month certification course looks like. It's an incredible program. I'm going to be certifying practitioners to do this method. I want to spread the soul intelligence movement. I know it's the next best thing, like Reiki, right? So many people learned how to do that, but it gets specific and it's detailed. And there's so much to it. I've got the whole course outline in there for you to check out if you're interested. And I really do feel like it is my higher calling and what I really want to do. Let me go to the Q&A. So put link in Q&A, chat is disabled, so you can't see it. Well, I'll tell you what, anybody that came tonight, we're going to send out our replay, and I'll make sure in the replay that we make sure that the links are in there. And I apologize. Zoom has changed a whole bunch of settings. And so I need to go back and check the settings again. But anyhow, I am only teaching this course live for the first time this year in January 17th, we start. It'll be Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then I will have a second hour later in the week on Thursdays, late in the day, for people to be able to coach, learn from me, learn from each other in the group. And I will also have a separate Slack group set up if you have questions. Slack is an instant message program, and there'll be a link to that if you're interested. Like I said, the best way, if you're on the fence, you're not sure, you want to think about it, is simply to set up a discovery call with me. If you can't see the actual link that I mentioned, just send me a quick email, Kristine at Kristine Glein. coaching.com, and I will be happy to get a discovery call set up with you, and even send you more information in terms of the program and the contents. I'm so excited to do it. Like I said, I'm only teaching it live once this year, and then the modules will be recorded, and then there will just be live coaching sessions with me and my team. So I really hope you enjoyed what I brought to you tonight, and I hope that you would be interested in learning more. And just so you know, as an added bonus, since I love working with fast action takers who are ready to step into a higher version of themselves and for their clients and their business. So I'm offering, if you're one of the first 3 people to book a call, meet with me, I will provide you with one of my most powerful secret weapons, the one I use to replace my own healthy 6-figure corporate income in my first year of business. It's my Sacred Soul Script. I promise it's magic. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to go into a little bit more about the session and what I did. If you're not comfortable asking any questions in the group session, feel free to private message me. In terms of, I did get a couple questions in the Q&A. Okay, looks like, do I need to have previous training, and is there a charge for a session? No, you don't need to have previous training. I mean, it's always great if you're open to energy and how it works. But certainly that's a part of the course and why it's going to take 6 months. In terms of a charge for a session, no, this is a free discovery call with me. If you haven't booked a session with me, you're going to want to do so now. As I told you, I only have a few openings on my calendar because I do lots and lots with another incredible company, Nutritional Frontiers in the World of Wellness. And so I only have limited time. But if you want to book a session with me, I'm not sure how many openings are left, but since I only have enough for 5, you want to grab time as quickly as possible. And again, only the first 3 people are going to get my Sacred Soul Script. So again, if you don't have the link, you can just send me an email. I appreciate your time. This has been amazing. Remember that taking action is what leads to your next level of success. So I'm going to leave you with a quote. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Nelson Mandela. So make a hopeful choice, book your call with me. I look forward to chatting with you again soon. I hope everybody here has a great night. And thank you so much for your time and attention. It was really, really fun. Thank you so much.